Hello there. Put on me shaded specs. Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings for a Saturday night, the 29th of June. We're saying goodbye to June. Started off cool, then went to hot, and now it is back to being semi-cool. About right now, about 75 degrees, which is a lot better than in some places. And it was a nice day this Saturday. We got a lot of material to cover, and the focus is on you and your comments, your questions, those kind of things from various videos and here in the live stream. Hello to Ted Richards. Can I possibly be first? I am first tonight. Numero uno, Ted Richards, son of Mary Richards. Chris Christari is here. Hi, Jack. I remember you. Don't remember where you're from. Richard Lyon, I know where he is from. He's from one of the 5 boroughs here in New York, but he left. He and so many others, and he's out there in West Palm Beach, Florida. How are you, Richard? Oklahoma for Christari, huh? We have more than one in Oklahoma. Jeannie Thompson, hello, Jack. I like your shirt. Thanks. Get your attention. I knew it was a YouTube shirt as soon as I saw it. So did Karen. Cindy in South Louisiana. Hello, Jack and friends. Stefan. Many familiar names here. Hi, Jack and everyone. The core audience. That's what you are. Jody Smith says hi. Hi, Jody. Cheryl Larson, along with Cheryl Everhart, been here for a long time. Good evening, Jack and everybody. Kay from Kentucky, not to be confused with Kay from Georgia. I think it was UK that's been very helpful to me lately. Good evening, Jack and everyone. Belinda Lemon, also known as Margaret, is here. Hey, with 3 hearts, a cross, and a flag. Karen Gagnon with a variety of face emojis. Hi, Jack, Karen, and everyone. First like, well, very good. And now we have 12 likes. Yes, please hit the like button. We have 50 watching already, and we just had 0. A matter of 2 minutes ago, we had 0. So that's pretty good, right? Gene Phillips, hi, Jack. Massachusetts. Hello, family. It always makes me think of Mike Murdoch's foreign female pastor. That place is closed up now, but he's still doing his thing on YouTube. He's hanging in there. But the Wisdom Center, in terms of a physical church, I'm pretty sure is over. Everett, hi, everyone. He won't give up his kingdom to anybody. They always think they're going to get it, but even if he had passed away, he would have made sure that wouldn't happen. Vera Regaldo is here. Hello from Austin, Texas. Yes, yes, yes. Are you in the purple section of Austin or the conservative section? My son used to tell me that the purple section is really only around the college area. And when you go to 6th Street in Austin, well, let's just say, be prepared for combat. Anything could happen. One of the troublemakers decided to go up and start yelling at a cop on a horse. What he did not realize is that the horse does not really follow police protocol. He hit that guy with his hind legs and sent him going 15 feet up into the air onto the other side of the street. That horse, he wasn't going to take no shite. He was not. Great shirt, says Richard. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Sandra. How are you? Hi, Jack. Excited for tonight's show. Well, cool. HW, Jack. Are you the other K from Georgia? Or are you K from Kentucky? Mike Fortner. Hey, Jack. In the black? I'm trying to get in the black. I'm trying. It's always, a push to get ahead. Martha Tillman, right? Hi, Jack from California. Your governor was hanging around in Georgia the other day, shaking hands and everything in the spin room of the debate. But no, he has no intentions of replacing President Biden. He's perfectly up for the job. And so, no, that wasn't the reason he was there. Nancy DeMarco. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to you, Karen Phillips. Hello. Neo is here. Hello, Jack. Hi, Neo. And Karen Mullins. Well, you may be new. Don't know. We've had a Carolyn. But do I remember the name Mullins? I always think of the late, great Rich Mullins, who wrote Awesome God. Hi, Jack. Nice shirt tonight. Thank you. So you have been here before. Vicky Matthews. Hello, Jack and friends. Claudette. Sweet little Claudette. Hi, Jack. Is that British symbol there? Or is it Canadian? I can't decide. Ruthie, also known as Ruth Ann, is here, I think. Ruth Ann was my first crush in the, say, 5th or 6th grade. Now, it's true, my Karen was in the class, either sitting behind me, she thinks in front of me. She was just this red-haired goddess that was, you know, so unobtainable. Why focus on someone that you have no shot with? I didn't really have a shot with Ruth Ann either, except she wore my ID bracelet. That was the thing. Did anybody have this experience in their class time in their elementary school years? If the girl liked you, she'd wear your ID bracelet with your name on it. And I think Ruth Ann wore my ID bracelet for 2 days and handed it back. Well, it was a short courtship. What can I tell you? She was a beautiful Italian lady, and I met her cousin yesterday. I got to tell you about our experience down at the Old Erie restaurant, nightclub, whatever you want to call it. It's in the mayor's family. So have I said hello to everybody? I have not. Yes, I did answer your email, Ruthie. Vicky Matthews says, hi, Hunter. So there must be a Hunter here. Here's Hunter Elgin, not Hunter Biden. He never checks in. Hello, Jack and family. Welcome to you, Hunter. Adrian. K is Adrian in George Magazine. Adrian's in George Magazine. Adrian Sternov is here. Which link? I know you go to georgemagazine.com and you're going to have to, in order to see the George Magazine show with Gene Ho, you're going to have to sign in. You're going to have to give them your email, but it's free other than that. And you'll be able to go to where I guess it says shows or something. I should know this. I should have this down and should have it written down because Susie Q couldn't find it. I don't know how long she looked, but there's categories that come up on the right of the screen, and it shouldn't take you too long to find the right one. So you can see the Gene Ho, the George Magazine show with Gene Ho, and they've got the latest episode up, and that's with yours truly as Gene's guest. I taped it on Wednesday, and it was a wonderful time. Half-hour show. Before we even started taping, Gene said, if you like, I'll come on your show. We can do it right here through this technology. And they've got the split screen, everything, and then they'll just email it to me. See if that's good thinking, Gene, because if he said something he didn't like, or if I asked a question he didn't like, he could edit it out, and that would be fine with me. I don't want to go on to or into territory that is not welcome. We point things out here, but I always have to think about, is this a bridge too far? Is this a bridge too far? I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing, and they like that I say that. They like that I say that. I can understand that. Mr. Monk, hello, Jack. Remember me? Of course. How could I forget Mr. Monk when you remind me of that great show with what's his name there? Um, oh, come on, I know his name like I know my own. I remember. Do you remember me? How are you doing tonight? I certainly do, and I'm doing well. Better than I deserve. That's the line I'm going to steal from Dave Ramsey, the financial Christian financial guru, because he says that over and over again when he's taking calls. People ask him how he is. He doesn't get irritated if they're asking him that again. He just says, better than I deserve. And it so fits me. It so fits me that I just need to borrow it, because people ask me that all the time. Better than I deserve, meaning that the grace of God is sufficient and what I deserve is far less than that. Understand, Linda Justice? The justice of God is tempered by the incredible shed blood of Jesus Christ, because he became the sin offering for us, in my opinion. How are you, Linda? Bobby, there is no evidence. Now, Bobby is either here to be a hater about not believing about Bob Joyce, or he's talking about the Christian message. I don't know. And he's only giving one name. And I don't think you're Karen's cousin, Bobby, the Hollywood actor. I don't think you are. But as long as you're nice, do you know what shoe size Elvis wore, Jack? Okay, there's two, and it looks like you might here to be an antagonist, as they say. We don't keep antagonists around too long, so because then they start fighting with other people here, and then people say, So, Bobby, I have to tell you honestly, we get very few of that. We get very few people that come on to do that because they realize there's just no point to it. Um, if you believe differently, you can always start your own channel, man. You can always start your own channel. So, as long as you don't go over the deep end, I'll leave you alone. Okay. How does it feel to have been interviewed by Gene Ho? Flattering, I'm sure. Well, it was. Sandra, it was a matter of, we are promoting the big event that's coming to Hot Springs, Arkansas, August 10th and 11th. Um, Pastor Bob Joyce will be there Sunday. It's all free on Sunday. He'll bring the Household of Faith service to the Rainier Hall Theater Sunday at 10 a.m. Doors open at 9. Get there early, even though there'll be a lot more seats than there would be at the church when they are just plumb out of space. Gene Ho was telling me in the interview that he did, that I was a guest on, that even the overflow room got full, to watch on a screen, and they feel bad about that. So they've got this 9 acres of land, as most of you know, and there's a barn on there, which they are going to renovate and make into a temporary sanctuary, and it's big, and there'll be plenty of parking, maybe on the grass, maybe on gravel, I don't know. And then they're going to build a showplace for the Lord Jesus Christ. It's going to be a beautiful church. I don't know how many seats, at least 500, maybe more. I would say there should be more. I would say that. I know they're not going to build some big mega church. Who's going to fill it after Pastor Bob? I get that. Um, but that, they closed on those 9 acres of land. Praise God. They closed on those 9 acres. And so I'm sure they're going to put a house on there too. I'm pretty sure. And it'll be secure, and it'll be a wonderful place to go and worship. And that'll be right on my way to Texas. So, I definitely want to visit. I wouldn't mind visiting the big barn. But in terms of Texas, going to Texas now, it's just too hot. It's hot in Arkansas. It's hot in so many places, right, Richard? You know about that. Um, Bobby, you'll be seeing me in Hot Springs. Okay, Bobby. I'd like to say I'd be looking forward to that. Um, So, well, Bobby, you have the same IP address, I bet, on all of them. It's par for the course, though. Any creator gets that, and we get so little of it, so we're blessed. Cheryl Larson commenting. Um, I'm not going to read any of your stuff, Bobby. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to read any of it. When you come on hostile as a YouTube creator, you should know not to do that. You should know not to do that. Richard, Jack, stick with us. Don't deal with Mr. Bubby. That's what I call my former sergeant, Sergeant Bobby, actually, at when I was at the homeless men's shelter as a peace officer. And so don't focus on it, guys. Don't focus on it, because that is like, as Bowie sang. Anybody know David Bowie? He was great, wasn't he? Putting out fire with gasoline. Now they say gaslighting. We had the expression first, putting out fire with gasoline. What else did we say? Um, they threw uh, they threw in a little bit extra. So what I'm going to do tonight, I'll give you the. I've never done this. Going to give you the top 10 videos in our analytics right now. Not the counts of views because it only represents, I believe, the last 28 days. So it's not the total count. My situation is pretty good with the coughing and what have you. Of course, when I come on here, I start to talk a lot, and that can aggravate it. But it's much better than it was. I haven't been using the nebulizer that much because I haven't needed to. But it does seem ever since I got that machine in my chest, which has never gone off or anything, it's just there. It's an insurance policy. Ever since then, it seems I'm more susceptible to colds and bronchitis than I used to be. Hello, Shell from Canada, the campaign president for President Trump, but in the state of in the state of confusion. No, in the country of Canada. Jody Smith says, I hope he gets security cameras because a lot of churches that went from humble beginnings to being bigger have had problems with security. Well, he's going to have all kinds of security. Uh, and around the house, there'll be an electric fence. But if if someone gets caught on it, a fan or whatever, he will have instructed his people to turn it down to simmer, to turn it down to simmer. It's a Johnny Carson line, actually, when, Johnny Carson was always accused of being cold and aloof, and he sometimes was. He says, but just the other day, a fan got caught on my electric fence and I turned it down to simmer. There'll never be another Johnny Carson. Of course, he didn't write all that stuff, but he did the bits and he helped with the writing of everything, and everything had to be done to his standards. Hello, Elizabeth Gilbert. Um, hello, Stephen Spielich. How are you, Stephen? How's everything doing? Ida Winstead is here. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Linda Justice, I have bronchitis. I've had bronchitis for almost 2 weeks, was feeling better, but today not so much. Yeah, it's a very lingering thing, isn't it, Linda? It's a very lingering thing. And I said hello to Margaret, but maybe I didn't. She gets nervous, right? I thought I said something, but anyway, hello, Margaret, because Margaret is Belinda, and Theodore is Copernicus, and Richard's real name, if you don't know, his first real name is Marion, just like that was John Wayne's middle name. And hello, Vivian, your lovely wife down there in West Palm Beach, Florida. Has it cooled down a little bit? Has it cooled down a little bit? Um, okay. Boyd Manella. Why am I having trouble with that? Uh, Malilla? Does anyone here have any of the Elvis trading cards? Yeah, all big acts like in the land of Dark Shadows. There were all kinds of things. Dark Shadows puzzles, Dark Shadows board games, etc. And next weekend is the last Dark Shadows remembrance that will ever be in Burbank, California. Oh, how Karen and I wanted to go to that, but just too expensive, too expensive when you add it all up, you know. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of videotape of it. Most of the actors are in their 80s, not all of them. Like David Hennessy is my age. He played young David Collins. And Susie Young is here as well. Susie Young. Nice to have. Oh, here's someone new. Moonchild. Hi, it's Lisa from Montreal. I lived there in 1964 for about 4 or 5 months, or if it was that long, yeah, probably about 4 months when my parents split up and then they got back together. I went to the John S. O'Connor Catholic School. I doubt that's still there, and why they called it John S. O'Connor, I never really learned who he was. Um, but yeah, I guess I have fond memories of Montreal. I do. Interesting things happened while I was there. But at Christmas time, my father came to visit with presents, and I needed an operation on my neck, and his insurance wouldn't cover Canada. So at that point, my parents got back together when we moved back to New York after my operation in Danbury, Connecticut. So there you go. Um, Dirt Bike Boy. You like to live dangerously. I like your shirt. Where are you from, Dirt Bike Boy? Glad to have you with us. Yasmin is here. Hi, Yasmin. Anastasia, she likes to say. Hi, Jack and everyone. So glad to see some new people. Most people, anyway. So I'm going to give you that top 10 list in a bit. I'm going to give you that top 10 list. And there you go. Richard. So, oh, yeah, Richard, you're the first one to say, oh, ignore him. But then, Jack, do something about it, Richard, because you have an anger problem. You do. I did do something about it. Whether it will work right away, I don't know. And, you know, there's always other ways. So, you know, don't focus on it, Richard. You've got that beautiful condo now, which you don't tell us much about. I don't know if you're enjoying an adult beverage. Paul McCreary, hello. Um, you registered but do not see it. So you're trying to see it as we're doing this. Um, it's not that hard, but I should have the exact way to do it. So I will put it in the comments section of the replay. Speaking of replay, hello, replay crowd. How are you? How are you? I'm so glad for you. We always get a big replay audience. And yes, we have to have the magic words in there. People have their favorite topic. Thank you, Dirt Bike Boy. A lot of people are liking my shirt. I've worn it before. But I don't wear it a lot. Hey, Paul Comfort, how are you, buddy? I haven't seen you in quite a while. I'm glad you're back. We have 102 people watching live right now, and we have 42 likes. So please hit the like button. More people can see us if you do. And before I give you our current top 10 videos from the analytics, which tell a very obvious story that you probably already know. I will tell you that based on a number of requests from the audience, I don't know if it usually happens this way, but a number of people requesting, including Susan Safadi, that I put in the thanks button, which I guess could be also super chat. It gets highlighted or something. We'll see. Now, I read up on this last night, before I clicked the turn on button for the thanks button. And I believe what I read is that you can't do it in a live stream, but once the show goes into replay, then the thanks button will appear. And it can be $2, it can be $5, $10, whatever, up 50 for people that have a little more. Trying to make this channel we're trying to make this channel bigger and better. People are saying we want to help you with the expense of hot springs. That's very nice. I can't commit to anything except that I really want to go. So, I'm going to try to make it happen. But I would never want to think someone to think they're giving and oh, you didn't go. No, it's a general tip. Like when you give money to the waitress because you really like the waitress, and you should always tip your server. Donald Trump's going to make it so that uh, no tax on tips. No tax on tips. The IRS wants to get their hands into everything. And we got all these new IRS agents. There's just so many ways where, since in the last 3.5 years, we are experiencing a nightmare. There's like 6 dozen different ways, and there's really probably more than that. So I think when you see the replay, you'll see the thanks button. And the 2 videos I did today, the promo for this show with Gene Ho, got a nice number of hits there. His picture telling you about the interview that we did. There's a thanks button there, and there's a thanks button in our latest video, which is dealing with Pastor Bob Joyce. Did Elvis's cousin visit Pastor Bob Joyce? That went up this afternoon, and it's already well over 2,000 hits in about 10 hours. 8 hours or around there. So that's a real good start, and I'm very grateful for that. Question mark, you decide, and you can comment on that tonight if you want to as well. Teresa, hi there. I am Nee, but boy, do I enjoy this show. I think you mean you. Well, I am so happy to hear that, Teresa, and welcome. How do you say your name? Write it out phonetically. Would it be Bake, Bakey? Because there's 2 Ks, right? I'm so happy to have you here. And here's another new person. We're getting new people now that are seeing other videos, and maybe please let me know if you found us tonight because you heard me promo this on the Gene Ho show, George Magazine show with Gene Ho. Let me know if that's how you found us, if you're brand new, okay? Sheena is here. Hello, finally made it. Mom and I love your shows and look forward to them. That's terrific. Where are you from, Shanna? I may have to put on my $1.25 readers. My $1.25 readers. But I'm so vain. I actually think Carly Simon did write that song about me. Yeah, right. I ain't no Warren Beatty, and that's who she wrote it for. It wasn't Mick Jagger, like you might think. So I can see things. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. So where's your name? Sheena, right? Not Sheena Easton, but Sheena Seeniff. I'm glad you did make it. Welcome. Melissa VD is one of our loyal peoples. Say hello to her. And Betty Marshall. I couldn't find your interview with Gene Ho. I guess I gotta, you gotta go to George Magazine .com. You gotta put in your name and your email, but everything is free, and then there'll be a category that'll be on the right some point, and you should be able to find whether it says the George Magazine show or whatever it says, something like that. You should be able to find it. But I'll write it down in the replay version of this show exactly how to do it. I should have done that prior. Been wondering about Brenda. She's going to a party tonight. She told me she's going to be a party. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised though if I hear sounds, but I don't know where it is. It's in my pocket. I put it in my pocket. I put my phone in my pocket. I thought it was near telly, but it's in my pocket. But she said she would watch the replay. She said she would watch the replay. Like I'm going to watch a video. Oh, boy. Yeah. I don't know what that means. Oh, Floridian man. Floridian man. And don't text me again. Oh, boy. I want to tell you about the top 10 videos, okay? If you're asking me to get the content, I will tell you from the analytics, and I think you'll see the reoccurring theme here. This is from the last 28 days, our top 10 videos in the analytics. I've never done this before. Number 10 is George Magazine, Bob Joyce, A Big Voice for Jesus. That is number 10. Number 9, did Elvis preach Lisa Marie's funeral? That's got well over 100,000 views. And it's been around maybe 132,000 views. I mean, 100,000, 1,300 views or so for Did Elvis Preach Lisa Marie's Funeral? Number 8, did Bob Joyce reimagine Elvis's first hit? We based that in God. We based that on the song God is God. Then we came to realize that it is a Pentecostal song. They sing it at Jimmy Swaggart's church all the time. They sing it in the Pentecostal Holiness Church all the time. But this song, That's All Right Mama, Elvis's first hit that he did in 1954, was written by Mr. Crudup in 1947. So I have a feeling that the guy who wrote God is God had heard That's All Right Mama, because as we say, as Bob is singing it till he gets to the bridge, he could easily just start singing That's All Right Mama. They're that close. So I think there was some inspiration going on there that the man who wrote God is God got away with, as far as I know he did. George Harrison was not so fortunate. Number 7, Bob Joyce to go big on 9 acres in Arkansas. Our number 7 video in our top 10 in the analytics. Number 6, Bob Joyce saying he's Elvis would be problematic. You should be watching all these videos if you haven't seen them already. They're all here. Number 5, Bob Joyce meets Scylla. Elvis reunites with Scylla? ? Just speaking of a possibility, we show a picture that could be photoshopped. It shows Priscilla in distortion with thighs much bigger than she has. But as Gene Ho explained to me, that could be lens distortion. He didn't take any kind of a stand as to whether that was really Priscilla, but he says when you see that in a photo, it can mean lens distortion. The people are walking, for one thing. They're not posing for a picture. You know what I'm saying? So that one, um, Bob Joyce meets Scylla. We show a picture. Elvis reunites with Scylla? Question mark. That's number 5. Number 4, breaking news. Bob Joyce safely home. That is the name of his new CD. And that's a live show, I think, that we did. I love it when the live shows go into the top 10 in the analytics. Um, Bob Joyce safely home. I think it will make its debut at the Big George Magazine event in Hot Springs, Arkansas, August 10th. Just go to georgemagazine.com. You'll see all about the event. You can watch the 60-second or however many second spot it is that Gene Ho does, and you'll be able to register for the Saturday event, which is a paid event. They'll give you tips where to stay, what hotel to stay in. And Sunday with Pastor Bob Joyce bringing his service to the Rainier Hall Theater, because Saturday's event is in the Hot Springs Convention Center in Arkansas, okay? And there's a whole bunch of people coming, Amanda Grace, Richard Minervini, John B. Wells, who hosts Caravan to Midnight. You can see that here every evening around 9 p.m. on right here on YouTube and radio stations around the country. He's got an incredible voice and he's an incredible talent. The former weekend host of Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, which of course was founded by the late great Art Bell. So he will be very interesting to hear him speak. The Popas will be there. There'll be music. And so to register for that, just go to georgemagazine.com. Now, they do have VIP, more expensive VIP tickets. They may be about all out now. See if you can get one, because that includes a dinner on Friday. I think Pastor Bob Joyce is going to be there, but don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it. And then Sunday is the 10 a.m. The doors open about 9 a.m. at the Rainier Hall Theater for Pastor Bob Joyce in the service, and it'll be followed by a baptism. If you want more information on the baptism, whether there's any more spots left or whatever, go to the Household of Faith site, Household of Faith, bobjoyce.org, and you'll be able to find out about that. So our number 3 video that's been out for a long time, our most successful video that we've ever done. It's been number 1 many times. The Verdict is Bob Joyce Elvis, about 165,000 hits. And really, it just keeps on growing. People continue to watch it. Number 2, Inside Bob Joyce's Church, Must Hear. One of my, you can take credit for it if you want. One of our people right here in the family suggested, let me think what I'm saying here. Yes, some, they won't want to say anything. They told me about their experience. They told me about their experience visiting Household of Faith. Beautifully written, and people watched the video. Not only did it shoot right into the top 10, but it became one of the longest watched videos. Not everybody, of course, watches the whole video, but they gave me special notes, YouTube, letting me know that this video was getting special attention, and that meant that it was going to be pushed more on YouTube recommendations, up next, that feature, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been a huge video for us. Inside Bob Joyce's Church, Must Hear. They really do a wonderful job telling us what it's like to be at the church on Sunday. And many of you are going, many of you have gone. In my personal email, Jack the Fair Guy, Fair, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. And our number one video, and it has been this for 3-4 weeks in a row, Gene Ho attack at Bob Joyce's church. The word attack is the reason for that. People love those kind of words, but I was talking, of course, about a spiritual attack. There's plenty of people to make sure things stay calm at Household of Faith. People have joked about just the regular congregants are all, prepared, if you know what I mean. But Gene Ho had made comments about, some division and what have you. I don't think it was reflecting on just one person of the past or what have you. But Gene told me that things have improved tremendously. And you wouldn't even see that usually if you're a visitor there. They are careful not to expose you to that, and pastor wouldn't put up with that. He's a good shepherd, and people give him respect. People give him respect. If you don't feel that way, then you don't feel that way. This is America. You can feel whatever way, but we don't keep those kind of comments up when they try to disparage the pastor. I've always said that what he does is, in my opinion, the way I feel it in my soul, is God ordained, and God's ways are not our ways. There are things I don't even understand about it. I mean, not that I'm special, but you know what I'm saying. But I don't worry about it because I can see that where Pastor Bob's heart is. I can see where his heart is. Questions, comments coming from here. Margaret is telling Ted that she's only 6 hours away. And Everett asked the question, hey, Jack, what year did Bob Joyce start on YouTube? 2011. That's the year he was born, too. We've joked about that. I mean, there's not really a lot of backstory about Bob Joyce before that. Now, people say, well, yes, there is. Robert Wayne Joyce. Don't you look at the old pictures? Well, I way back in 2018 began to talk about the two Bob Joyce theory. And you can look at the verdict and other videos where we talk about that and we show pictures. I have a much more recent video. In fact, let me see if I can go to the actual list of all our videos. I have a bunch of tabs open tonight, and I don't even like tab, I like Pepsi Zero, but it's no good for me. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. I hope I don't cut the stream off. Yeah, this is a complete list of the videos. So right up top is Did Bob Joyce meet Elvis's stepbrother? We're talking about David Stanley. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. The promo for tonight, live tonight, Gene Ho interviews me. You can find that at georgemagazine.com. You have to sign in with your name and email. Then you should be able to find the George Magazine show with Gene Ho. Inside Bob Joyce's church, a must-hear. Over 10,000 views right now. In fact, I think it's over 12,000 now. Sometimes these numbers here are not right. Other videos that I haven't mentioned tonight is Kurt Russell ready to play Elvis again. He's played him a number of times, including kicking Elvis himself in the shins in the World's Fair movie in the 60s. Then he did the Elvis biopic. Kurt Russell starred as Elvis in 1979, did a fantastic job. Someone said that in Forrest Gump, the actor that's actually playing Elvis, as Forrest Gump teaches him the Elvis moves in the boarding house hotel room, it's really the family home, and she rents rooms, Mrs. Gump does, to be able to survive. They say that's not Kurt Russell, but it's Kurt Russell's voice. It's Kurt Russell's voice. So he seemed to know what he was talking about. Sometimes Google doesn't give you the full story, you know? Our video talking about the church, Bob Joyce, to create a showplace. That was a live show from 6/15/24, and that's doing well. But see, when we do other topics, because people said, I love it when you do other topics, because we did debate commentary, and it's doing okay. It's going towards 1,000. But when I, right after the verdict of Hunter Biden came on and did a video guilty, what does that mean for Hunter Biden? It's only got 303 views. You know, that's like, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me grow this channel. It doesn't help me compensate for my retirement income, which is not enough. You know, this is my job now, so that's why we've got the thanks button. That's why we've got the thanks button, and no pressure at all. I think you'll see it in the replay. It won't come up, I'm told, in the live stream, but it will come up in the replay and in the pre-recorded videos. Has Christianity gone out of style? That's another video, 312 hits. You see the pattern? Jack Savage dropped by to talk about Mrs. Bumgarden. He's very funny, I think we could say that. Mrs. Bumgarden hates Bob Joyce. Jack Savage. It's kind of a takeoff on Michael Savage. If you haven't seen Michael Savage here on YouTube, check out his videos. There's a reason that he had millions of people listening to him on the radio. And now at 81 years old, 82, 81, he is on YouTube and X, and I guess maybe Instagram sometimes. Is John Cotner Elvis? Is John Cotner Elvis? That was a live show from the 25th of May, and it did okay. Not that far away from 2,000 views. Here's another video, 2024, The Return of Elvis, Bob Joyce comparison. We show you the great Jimmy Sturr Orchestra doing The Devil Went Down to Georgia, I believe from the Villa Roma Resort where we had our Poco weekend. Nobody cared about John Meacham, who used to be, I thought, a very bright man, but now he has Trump derangement syndrome. Where is the real John Meacham? 292 people watched that. Bob Joyce at Mar-a-Lago. Coincidence? Sure. I did that video from the lobby of the Villa Roma Resort where Poco Weekend was. Karen was holding the camera. It's got over 5,000 views. Molly B live on stage at Villa Roma. She is the polka sweetheart. You got to see Molly B singing Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie and Polish Girlfriend. 382 views, not terrible. Oh, here's the one I was talking about. Robert Wayne and Walina Joyce. Is that Bob Joyce? Look at the picture. Watch the video. You tell me if you think that is the current pastor of Household of Faith. Oh, yes. And then there's so many others, gang. There's a lot. How Elvis may have faked his death. Part 1, the Bixby investigation. That video features the late, great Bill Bixby. You can see that right here at the virtual church. All these videos are up at the virtual church of the disillusioned. Got a picture of another person. Is it Robert Wayne Joyce? What if Spa Guy talked to the other Bob Joyce? And that's got almost 9,000 views. Amazed people visiting Bob Joyce's church, 7.3 thousand views. Wayne Newton video up. We went to see him in Sugarloaf. And at 14,000 views, I'm not going to just keep giving you a laundry list. On occasion, a Bob Joyce who looks different appears. Good video. Watch that and look at the whole list. And we do have other videos that are not about the Bob Joyce topic. That's just not true, Margaret. A million people have debunked that. So, but it's fine to have your opinion, and I don't come to any firm conclusions either. But when when you start to say, well, everybody else that has a different opinion than mine is stupid, I can't respect that. I can't respect that at all. Um, do people think Walina is from Germany? No. When we talk about Walina, and this has been joked about by people other than me, or talked about by people other than me, by the way, in the church. In the scenario for Walina Hattie, who would eventually marry Robert Wayne Joyce, have children with him. Um, we think that perhaps Willina's father was an officer in Germany, stationed in Germany, and she was young, and that's how she was there, and that's how she met Elvis Presley and became his girlfriend. Became his girlfriend. That's what we've talked about before. Kay is asking about the big event in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Would that be a time that Pastor Bob would make any kind of announcement? Should we be right? Because I'm only speaking about possibilities here. No, I don't think so. It would be pandemonium, pandemonium. And that's, the church is not built yet. What does he do now? Where does he go now? you know, this is if we should be right, or if we're just crazy, right? I'm trying to put it that way. Uh, I think it would have to come when everything is done on those 9 acres of property, when everything is complete. And I won't go into the reasons why I think he should do it at that time yet, but I think it would be when everything is in place. Um, because we've often talked about this in the past. You know, the day Pastor Bob were to make an announcement like we think is possible to be made, and he'll stay Bob Joyce. That's who he is now in Jesus Christ. I should have realized that when I asked the dumb question, what name will be on the CD? Of course, it'll be Bob Joyce. That's who he is now. He's a new creature in Christ, and he has, perhaps by God Himself, been given the name Bob Joyce. It was all worked out. So that's my guess, is when everything is complete. The church is open. There's a house on the property, and my vision, I can't see it being any other way. And then he would make an announcement, maybe. Um, so we have Marty Greco. Hi, Marty. Bob Joyce said in his interview with Gene Ho, he was 9 years old when he got his first guitar. Yeah, I do. I did see the interview, Marty. So I didn't think too much. I haven't really digested it on the first watch, you know. So what did that mean to you? What did that mean to you, Marty? I researched a little. The guitar is model. It's a what SJ 200 Gibson on the cover of George magazine. Um, what was the guitar from Blue Hawaii? What was the model of the guitar from Blue Hawaii? Because we did a video long ago where people that I was, fireworks, and it's not even the 4th of July. Did you hear any of that? There probably will be more. They're selling them right here in Newburgh, and yet fireworks are illegal in New York. So they 3 people put their money together and bought him what they thought was the identical guitar from Blue Hawaii. And they say when he opened it up, his eyes lit up. But I'm not sure it was the identical. I think it might be a little different in the color design on the front of the car. And Brenda showed up. I bet she's at the party. She just left the punch bowl, and she knew she had to come in here and talk. So hi, Brenda. We have like 3 Brendas now. Did you know that? At least 3. Uh, so welcome. Brenda, one of our most popular members. Scott Baker, the resurrection of Elvis Presley is back. Music tour coming. The resurrection. Did I did I read that right, or did I say Jesus? The resurrection of Elvis Presley is back. Music tour coming. I don't think there'll be any tour. I think everything will happen in uh, uh, Arkansas with Pastor Bob Joyce. I hope there'll be more than 500 seats. That would be a mistake on my part. At least, you know, don't worry about who's going to fill it someday. Mike Huckabee will come in and fill it. uh, I think they need more than that. Why build and then realize it's not enough, you know? Heck, when Jimmy Swaggart fell into trouble, they had to block out most of the sanctuary with blackout curtains. So on the TV screen, you wouldn't see that he only had like 150 people there when he used to have like 2,500, you know? So I would say, 800, maybe 800 seats. I'm not saying build a mega church. I'm not saying that. Shirley is here from Arden, North Carolina with Henry and Shirley. So, by the way, if you are here because you saw the George Magazine show with Gene Ho and you saw me on it, let me know that you are watching tonight because you saw that interview. That's how you found out about Worldwide Ramblings that we do every Saturday night. I've decided, and I'm going to try to stick to this, if there's a Saturday night I cannot do, if there's a Saturday night I cannot do, go somewhere with Karen, um, just need a break, whatever, I will do a pre-recorded Worldwide Ramblings, and I'll do it as a 10 p.m. premiere, and then you'll be able to still comment, and that's comment section there if you want to. I won't be able to interact with you, but if there's a time, just for consistency's sake, because radio, me being a radio guy, consistency is important. If I'm not live some Saturday night, I would certainly try to in advance do a pre-recorded version, come up with something special for my contribution, and it would run as a 10 o'clock premiere on Saturday night. That's East Coast time. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but I just wanted to say that. Deborah Lake, welcome, welcome, welcome. Praise the Lord for you, Deborah Lake. So glad that you are doing better. And see if I missed anybody. Where are you from, Bob? Where do you live? So, to your point, Scott, I think that, I mean, you say Elvis Presley, well, he'd be like 89 years old now. He's not going to be playing Madison Square Garden. You're not going to see him in Cleveland and Boston and all that. No, no, no. You have to come to Arkansas. That's how that's going to work. I bet you that. Elizabeth Gilbert is here, and she's one of our loyal people, too. I probably said hello. She's talking to Marty. And if I miss a good comment and you think I really should have noticed it, let me know. Hi, Selena M. YouTube gets 30% of the thanks donations if you use, she's going to try to steer me somewhere else. If you use Patreon instead, you'll receive the full donation. Well, a lot of people said use the thanks button. And, I've just started that, Selena. I know you think you're helping me, but to send me off in that direction, um, I'm not I'm not there yet to want to do that. Um, but so don't use something you're not comfortable with. Don't use something you're not comfortable with. I understand. It's like the person who and I'm not busting on you, Selena, but I'm just trying to get you to understand how it might feel from this end when I put up the Jimmy Stir, I said this on another video probably a few days ago, the pop on, the pop off video. When I put up Jimmy Stir and the band doing a great version of The Devil Went Down to Georgia, the first comment was something like, well, nobody does it like, and this was a regular, nobody does it like Charlie Daniels. Well, thanks for nothing. Are you trying to kill my video? Are you trying to kill my new feature? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, really? Um, Best to tell me those things in an email. Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Lots of creators up here are using the thanks button. Half dozen of you told me to do it. So that's what I'm doing. And it's all up to you. Anybody that would want to use it. Yes, YouTube provides a valuable service for me. They give me a worldwide voice. I've met all you nice people because of YouTube who doesn't charge me a dime to do this. So yes, they're going to get some kind of a cut. I understand that. They get a cut of my monetization, of course. Uh, I'm a Google employee, basically, or, uh, independent contractor, whatever you want to say, because I have to pay the taxes myself. They give me a statement at the end of the year, and I submit that to my tax woman. She's great, and the tax is paid. The tax is paid. Ah, anything else I'm missing? Everybody else seems to be talking amongst themselves. Talking about the humidity, the southeast corner. I've heard about that. More storms are coming. Who knows what a hurricane season will look like? Here's Raul from last week. Evening, everyone. Hi, Raul. Where are you from? I know where Carmen Sylvia is from. She's from New Zealand. She's from New Zealand. And so, Raul, I have to ask you, did you ever watch that movie? And you know what I'm going to say next. Did you ever watch Eating Raul? Is it a cannibal movie? I guess it is, right? Did you ever watch Eating Raul? Did you know Raul Julia, who, of course, played, amongst many things, Gomez Adams in the movie version of the movie versions of the Adams family? He was a great actor. Those eyes that kind of popped out almost like Marty Feldman. And he got the cancer, I guess, and died way too young. But Raul Julia was great. You probably never even heard of that movie. Are you young or more our age? I wonder. Glad to see you here, Carmen. Carmen has many videos up on her YouTube channel, so check out Carmen Sylvia after our get together here. So last night we went downtown. Finally, they had perfect weather for the Friday night concert. It was kind of cool, almost, And I can't even pronounce this band's name, but I do have a video of their music I'm going to be putting up probably sometime tomorrow evening. Maybe 2-3 minutes of what they did. They did salsa and they did merengue and one other thing. I don't know when they're doing the salsa from the merengue. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I enjoyed it. Karen and I didn't bring our folding chairs as we usually do. We kept them in the car, but we used their plastic green chairs, which some people, especially people of a certain weight, tend to fall over on, fall to the ground on. So we watched that because we knew we were going to walk up the block to the Old Erie, which is in the mayor's family, Mayor DeStefano, and that we would be meeting some friends there. So we watched an hour of the salsa band, and they took a break, and we saw that the friends were starting to gather at the Old Erie. Really, what it was the class of '74. They were going to have they were having their big party up in the loft. It's 3 floors, Old Erie, and on the 3rd floor they were having their party. Now, we are not the class of '74, although if I hadn't failed 2nd grade, I would be technically the class of '74. That's when I was in Montreal for 4 months and then came back, totally different curriculum, etc. I couldn't pass, so I had to repeat second grade, and that's when I met Karen uh, Morris, as she is known now, Karen Reed Morris, and so many other great people. And so about 5 or 6 people from not from uh, junior high school or high school, although they went on to that too, but from St. Joseph's Catholic School were there. Marion Cortez. I told you about Ruth Ann, my first crush. Well, that's her cousin, Marion Cortez. Had a nice conversation with her. Christine Bradford. Her husband Larry wasn't there because he was ushering up at the Paramount Theater. Sheila E. was in town last night. Sheila E. was at the Paramount Theater. But not my cup of tea. I got to be honest. I wasn't thrilled about the glamorous life, but I know she was very important to Prince, was in the Prince band and what have you. It's just not for me. I don't know what kind of crowd they got. I didn't go anywhere near that theater. I was down with the salsa and the merengue, and then we went over to the. It's a beautiful restaurant. They got bars on 3 floors, and so we saw Michael Bianchi, who lives down in Florida when it's cold. Richard, this is what you got to do. You're probably gone now because you're mad at me. Uh, um, he lives down there 4 or 5 months of the year, but he has ties right up here in the Hudson Valley, and he's here. Like he's so happy to be, like in 75 degrees last night. So we had a nice talk with Michael, who I knew since second grade, and a few other people from St. Joseph's. You start calling names, and you forget someone that you really wanted to say, and then I'll say, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." One of the Romanos were there, a very popular name in this area, and we all decided since Christine knew people in this 1974 class, we decided to crash the party. We had done this 1 year before with another class. So they had already, ate their food, and now they were just drinking and reminiscing and what have you. And we just walked in. Nobody stopped us. Nobody said, "Well, where's your badge? Your badge will be over there. And if you don't have one, get out of here." Nobody was paying attention. There was a ton of food left. I just found myself drawn to that food. I'll tell you, a little pieces of real Italian bread with the tomato and the basil and the mozzarella. Oh, oh, and some broccoli and all that. And then the bad stuff like mozzarella sticks and spicy wings. Oi, spicy wings. And so we were up there for about 40 minutes. I bought one drink down on the first floor. I bought white wine for Karen, and I got myself a vodka sour. But I said, please, just a little vodka. She didn't put too much in there. So I was fine because I was eating and I had some water with me too. So we had a wonderful time, and it was just so special. I was talking to people that I've known for 60 years. For 60 years, and all the special times we had at St. Joseph's School. Not that there weren't some, incidents that some people didn't like Karen. Karen was slapped, maybe with a ruler, I'm not sure, by Mother Bernadette, who was very old, and she got sick and she stopped teaching. But she was just letting some kid know that there was an insect on him or something, and so she was tapping him, and Mother Bernadette thought she was fooling around and came and slapped Karen somehow. I don't even remember that happening, and that was third grade. And then Father Pierce was the Monsignor. He would come over when it was time for report cards, and all the girls had to sit on his lap while he read through the report cards. He was a straight-laced guy, so I don't think it was anything like that. But he was when my father would see Father Pierce coming out to say mass on Sunday, he would groan because it was a very sing-songy type delivery of the homily. and it was longer than usual. When he saw Father Michael McCarthy, the young priest, came out, he was happy and he was listening to every word Father Michael McCarthy said. He would literally come down from the altar. This was before they had mics, on the lapel or what have you. He would talk loud and he would walk the aisles, and everybody liked to listen to Father Michael McCarthy. But when Karen said that Mother Bernadette had slapped her, Marion said, Father Pierce hit me with an umbrella. This is why these bad. I don't know if these people were filled with the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Father Pierce, who's buried right behind the chapel there, he died like in 1972, I want to say, if not earlier. Um, yeah, Father Pierce hit me with an umbrella. Anybody else have Catholic school stories? Um, as I explained to Gene Ho, that mostly what happens here in the live shows is people like to keep it light. They talk amongst themselves, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm I'm okay with that. I'm happy that you're getting together on a Saturday night. I know you don't want to talk about World War III on the brink or what have you. Johnny, are you new? And how did you find us? Johnny Ginseng, is it? Let me go back. I've lost you. Yeah, Johnny Ginseng. How are you? How did you find this show, Johnny? And where are you from? Where are you from? John Jeffries is here. Hey, John, one of our regulars for a while now. And oh, good. Richard is still here. I thought I chased him away. I thought he was mad at me. You never know. You never know with Richard. I mean, I could get to his house and ring the bell, and he'll just peer through the curtain and then just go away. He won't let me in. You told me not to text you. Well, I don't know what video meant. That one word, I think you were trying to tell me to get the content. That would be my example, which I don't mind that because I do take some too long to get the content sometime. But I don't have a lot of content today, and I was hoping for some questions from the people too. But I do have questions from in the pre-recorded videos, and I do want to say that time does get away from us, Richard and Vivian. It really does. Hi, Barbara Kendall, one of our loyal people as well. So if anybody watched if you went to georgemagazine.com and watched the George show, the George Magazine George Magazine show with Gene Ho, and you saw me as the guest, so I taped that on Wednesday. It's up now, and it'll stay up in the archive there. But right now, it's like the main featured video. Let me know that's how you found us. I would like to know that. I'd like to get to know you. Yes, I would. I'd like to get to know you if I could. Who sang that song, Richard? Somebody else would know. If you don't, because you're more of a rock and roller, right? I don't know how much of 60s pop you know, Richard. You're a tad younger than me, a tad. Bob was born in Mississippi, but I live in Alabama now. Do you like it there? Um, we have had quite a few people from Alabama. Some no longer with us, maybe, or they just don't say anything. And people that do respond from there. Have I been to Alabama? I guess I have not. I have not. I wouldn't mind going. I wouldn't mind going. Um, Hurricanes. Oh boy. I think we may have an active season, especially starting in September, October. I don't think I choose to be down in Florida then. But Richard knows that if he gets a real bad evacuation notice, to just pack of the things that are most important to you and get in the cab before everybody else is, if you can, and get out of there for a while. You may have to go as far as, I don't know, North Carolina. I'm not sure. It's amazing how many people, like I talked about Marion. She lives near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and that's where Gene Ho ran for mayor. He lived in Myrtle Beach for a long time. So, as I think I said, in about less than 2 weeks now, I'm going to, if all goes as planned, I don't put my foot in my mouth, Gene Ho will tape a show with me where I will be the interviewer, and we'll we'll cover as many topics as we can in the time he's allotted. But with that said, gang, with that said, the focus will be on promoting the Hot Springs George Magazine event, August 10th and 11th. Some of his life story. We'll talk about his days as President Trump's campaign photographer and what have you. We'll talk about Household of Faith, but this will be pre-recorded, and of course, I'm not gonna pretend for a minute. I'm gonna ask him questions that he would not that he would not appreciate. I'm not going to do that. No, 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 no. All of us going in August should meet up somewhere. I'm going, says Elizabeth. I know you are. And let's see, there's a bunch going. Some are going to the Friday night dinner, they have the VIP tickets. So you are hardcore. You are hardcore fans. And that'll be really, really nice. We'll see. We'll see. This month, which is ending tomorrow, in terms of, you know, much needed revenue to supplement my retirement and build this channel, et cetera, is better than it was the last 2 months, but nowhere near as good as it was in the month of March. We're always like a month behind, you know? So if March was good, that means February was really the really good month with some hot videos. And someone said, in the debate, and I appreciate your comment, they said, it's great when you do stuff besides Bob Joyce. And I totally agree. But as I read those top 10 videos to you, you saw the common theme. Every single one of them talks about the pastor from Benton, Arkansas, who preaches in Benton, Arkansas, So it's really hard. Now, might I do something on JFK Jr.? I might. We'll see how it goes. I'd be very surprised if, my work there, because I'm only going to be definitely speaking about possibilities, would be anything like other people that talk about that topic. What are you saying, Adrian Sternov? Just watch it. You looked and sounded good, so you were able to find it. Can you type in how you found it? I know you had to put your name and email. Can you type right here in the comments, Adrian, exactly how you found the George Magazine show with Gene Ho on georgemagazine.com, georgemagazine.com. Can you let people know, because there's a few people that have tried to find it and they haven't. In my opinion, no, that's not that, Ted. Well, you're in conversation with someone and I don't know where you are, but Richard Lyon can be funny. Jack, I bet if you do JFK Jr., that would be a very big video. Well, it depends how good I am at it, Richard, That's important too. And do I have roll-in video? Am I rolling the pictures in? I really would like to corner Andy and pay him to teach me how to do this myself. Because usually what happens is he comes up here, he sits here and he does it. And I appreciate that. He's done that for me at least a half dozen times, but it doesn't teach me how to do it. I can't look over his shoulder and learn it. I've got to sit here. I've got to write each step down as I do it, but I've got to physically do it, So I guess you believe that JFK Jr. Is alive. I think I can, since he said it publicly, I can quote Gene Ho here. He didn't say it in the show I was a guest on, but he said it, I think, on Facebook. It could have been X, because he does X and he does TikTok. So he's on all over the place, He said, if I told you that JFK Jr. was alive, would you believe me? If I told you Elvis Presley was alive, would you believe me? He did say that. People like to talk about Gene's hints, He's a rascal sometimes too, because you never know when he's joking and what have you. He knows where the line is, and I know where the line is, and I think they appreciate that. I don't know what Pastor Bob thinks, I won't know till I meet him, you know. his his facial expression will tell it all. Or I'll be thrown into the mud by four men that look like they could be wrestlers. That's why I want to bring Karen. I'm less likely to be thrown into the mud. No, I'm told Gene Host said during our interview that there's a lot of people in Household of Faith that watch me, and I was very honored to hear that Mrs. Ho, his mother, watches me and likes me. That blew me away. Hello, Mrs. Ho. I'm very glad that you're watching. It's probably so late into the show. I should have said this earlier. Not that you've got to go to bed early or something, but very happy, and I'll do that acknowledgement again in an earlier time. Go to Google. Only type in Jack Willard and Gene Ho interview. It will direct link you to it. Really, says Adrian. Well, thank you, yo, Adrian. You did me a solid there. Is that all you have to do? Go to Google only, type in Jack Willard and Gene Ho interview. It will direct link you to it. I hope I'm not losing too many people doing that now. So write that down. Write those instructions down. Raul Havana, I love it. I just worked 3 months in Kenner, Louisiana. What did you do there, Raul? And how old of a man are you? Um, I stopped working a 6-day-a-week job in 2022. More recent than that, about maybe 28 days a year, I would work with a 90. Well, he was 95 when I started, and then he turned 96-year-old gentleman, helping him out. He was still able to do a lot of things for himself, but not everything. And I was there to make sure he was safe, and I cooked him his meals and what have you. I was like the backup caretaker, but it paid very well. And he passed away a few months back, so I lost that. So that's why the thanks button will be up in the pre-recorded videos, and also in the replay of these live streams, I think. So there you go. The interesting thing is like half a dozen people from right here told me to do that, to put up the thanks button. So I did it. That's all. Jody and Elizabeth are talking. Elizabeth is in the, I don't think he'll ever come out. He did say he was born Bob Joyce and would die Bob Joyce. And then, of course, people say, well, yeah, when he was, we never really know when Elvis really got saved. He did say that, but boy, I know you know this, Elizabeth. Think of all the things that have happened since then, and think how, how laid back he is about it now. I can't give a full response to that. What's my gut feeling is that that he will come out and say it. But you could be absolutely right, Elizabeth. I just don't think it'll go well for him if he chooses that. I think there'll be more of a cry to let's get this out of the way. You don't write a book and wait till you die to have them release it. That would be my opinion, which is worth about nothing. Nothing. I know Richard agrees with that. He's smoking his cigar now that he lit with a $20 bill. It's funny. I went to, like I always do, I was searching YouTube to find out how to put on the thanks button, And here's this young, good-looking man. There were several choices of people telling you how to do it. But I went to this young man, and I should have got his name so I could tell you to subscribe to him, because he was pretty helpful. He didn't say everything I wanted to in the most simplest way. You always got to remember you are talking to people probably that are in their 60s and what have you, and you got to talk to them at like a first grade level without being condescending, But he said how to do it and what have you, and he has a thanks button. And he said it's been good to him. He says, but if you want to hit it, fine, but you don't have to. I don't need it. He's like 22 years old. He don't need it. Hey, good for him. Now, maybe his parents have money. Maybe he's a great entrepreneur at his young age and he knows how to make money on the internet and what have you. I don't need it. I'm 68 and I sure as heck need it. I made bad choices. I didn't. You know, who says this the most? Oh, it's probably one person would be Anthony Robbins says this. If you don't have a plan for your life, other people that do will hire you to fulfill their plan and they will give you table scraps, table scraps. Well, look at this. I'm emotional. Adrian Sternov, thank you. My first thanks. So you can do it in the live stream. That's what this guy, no, that's not what he said. That's what I read with YouTube. Adrian Sternov is the first person to donate $5. Everyone, if you can afford it, only please help out Jack. This is just something to do occasionally when you can afford it and you no pressure to do it. It helps me. This will go into my monthly direct deposit that Google sends me because the videos are monetized. But, I don't get 500,000 views. I don't get, 200,000 views or what have you. I often get 2,000 views, 1,000 views, 1.6. So this kind of helps me out. If it does become enough, that it helps me to go to Hot Springs and do interviews there. I'm not going to be trying to expose anybody, but if I certainly would be working if I went to Hot Springs and trying to get some content for you, maybe interview John B. Wells, for example, and other things, show you quick videos from Hot Springs. I don't know how much. I think there's going to be taping. Other people will be taping, and maybe there'll be house cameras, and I assume Household of Faith will have their cameras there for the Sunday service. But I'm only guessing. I'm only guessing. So that's wonderful. I thank you very much, Adrian. Write that down. I'm going to keep a list of all the people that have given and thank them more than once. So thank you. Yeah, you get that highlighted response when you do that. Does anyone know if Pastor Bob Joyce sells his books at the Household of Faith? He does have books from the past, right? They just mentioned the CDs. Our latest video where someone talks about their experience says there's 5x7 pictures that are free. You're encouraged to take one. And then the CDs, and someone says at the end of the service to line up if you would like Pastor Bob to sign them, and he'll take pictures with you. I don't think that's self-glorification. I think that's a chance, he's singing about Jesus on the CDs, I think from the heart, and this is a chance to meet you. Maybe you have a prayer request you want to give him. I think he will pray with you right on the spot. And there are many actors that are Christians, who's the guy who played Hercules? So he's got a Christian movie company now. If he's walking down the street, Kevin Sobo, right? Kevin Sobo. Oh my goodness, Nancy. Kevin Sobo. Sobo. If someone is walking down the street and ask him for his autograph, is he being carnal if he gives it to them? Because as he's giving it to them, he can mention, he can talk to them about where they are in their faith walk. Well, you guys are blowing me away here. Nancy DeMarco, $20. I'm happy with $2 for those that can only give $2, and I'm happy for those that say, I really can't. This is not going to become a telethon, you know. I'll mention it from time to time, but I'm not going to hit you over the head with that. Thank you so much, Nancy DeMarco. Jody Smith, $5. Thank you. Thank you, Jody Smith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I say, this will go into my monthly deposit from Google. Ted Richards, $10. I appreciate that very much. And Adrian was the first to give. Adrian was the very first to give. Sternov. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. If there's a way to mispronounce it, Adrian, I will find it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. This is my first experience here. So, by the way, if someone could tell me here in the comments, when you go to do that, how do you make that donation? Is it PayPal that you got to have, or what? How do you transfer that to when you hit the thanks button? What do you have to do? People be wondering about that. I'm seeing $19.99 on the screen. It didn't say that. Jody Smith, $2. Again, my goodness. Thank you so much. Don't ever give, when you are struggling or what have you. I'm not a church, So you do it on a regular credit card, Shell? You've done this before, right? Barbara Kendall, $5. I did not expect this, so it's kind of emotional, And I didn't think you could even do it in a live stream. That's what I read. Jody keeps going with another $1. That's funny, Jody. Pretty colors too. Were you able to pick that, Barbara? Were you able to pick that? What is that blowing the bugle? $5. Thank you, everybody, so much. I really appreciate that tremendously. Adrian, Jody, Ted Richards, John Jeffries. You're the $19.99. What a handsome man you are there. Is that a current picture, John? $19.99. I saw $19.99 and I thought, where did that come from? It comes from John Jeffries. Huh. You must work in retail. See, psychologically, if you say something costs $20, oh, that's a little pricey. $19.99 sounds better. It does. $19.99 sounds better. I can't keep up with Jody Smith there, but $2. Thank you very much. Thank you, John Jeffries, and everybody. I'm seeing like a total right now of $49.99. $49.99. And we're going to have this up on all the pre-recorded shows and on the live streams, but I'm not gonna hammer you with this. I'm not going to become like one of those telethons. Remember all those years with telethons, or one of those preachers that were doing a crusade, a healing crusade from the local Holiday Inn ballroom, So yeah. I see a $7 there. Well, thank you, Selena. I knew you. I was hoping you weren't mad at me. I just reacted because I just put this up and I was proud of myself for in my technical dodo ways. But I'll look at what you're saying. I'll look into it too. I just know there's a lot of people that use it here, and I was really kind of proud of myself for being able to not have to have Andy come over here and hold my hand. In fact, when I mentioned it to Andy, he kind of blew it off saying, I don't think you can do that until such and such happens, and that wasn't true. So I should have had it up before. Hello to the disillusioned crowd and Jack. Well, at least you didn't say a hello to disillusioned Jack. That could have been the way to put it. $5, $7, and 5 likes. You can like the comment. I get it. I'm constantly learning this. Replay crowd, feel free, but don't ever feel pressured. Don't ever feel pressured. This will become something that we do, but I don't. Yeah, I looked into Hot Springs. I mean, it's a 19-hour plus drive in summer heat. So then I, of course, looked into, well, what if I flew out of Newark? And flights were like round trip 408. And then Karen actually said, well, I would go. And it shocked me because, it's not necessarily her cup of tea, although she likes Pastor Bob, but it's not really, how do I put this? She, she was a Catholic. She had a bad experience in the Catholic Church, although she had great friends there like we both had. Oh, Bonnie Diana. Bonnie Diana was the other one. That's not her name now. She's married. But Bonnie was there up in the loft. She knew people from the class of 74. And the next year is actually Karen's class. See, I dropped out at 16, so I'm not really in any class. But I would be the class of 75 since I failed second grade. And I had to do it twice, and that's when I met Karen and Bonnie Diana and Marion and Charlie Van Gelder and Mario Baffa, a very famous name around here, the Baffa restaurant for 65 years, now closed. Mike Fortner, I don't think you can donate in the replay. I could be wrong. You mean I've got it backwards? It's really that you can donate in the live stream, but not the replay. I know the thanks button is up in the pre-recorded videos that I did today, but hey, I'm more confused than Adam Schiff during a lie detector test. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Judy Wright, not Betty Wright, the cleanup woman. Thank you so much, Judy. $9.99. I love that. It's like that's the retail donation. Thank you. I really appreciate that, guys. I don't want to forget anybody, but I don't want to focus totally on this. Thank you so much, Selena. I was afraid that I had offended you, and I don't mean to do that. I just, I was kind of proud of myself for being able to do that, because so many times I look and I stare, and it's like, Andy, do you know how to do this? And he's way over on the other side of the duplex, Jack, I am trying, can't figure it out. Somebody help Richard Lyon, because Richard has almost as much money as Tucker Carlson. You wish, right, Richard? They say you use a credit card, you hit the thanks button, and what does it tell you? Somebody help Richard out there. Oh my goodness, Cheryl Larson. I didn't mention you, did I? Cheryl Larson, $49.99. My goodness. Like we had wanted to go to the Dark Shadows remembrance in the worst way. We're not going. Don't worry. It's less than a week away now. They'll show videos of it, But I said, Karen, YouTube has dropped off. You know that. I lost the 96-year-old man. That was good money. I don't have that anymore. And, I can't boost my credit cards up to the point. I have a fairly good credit rating right now. I can't boost it to the point where I can't pay them, and they're just, and then you end up in real trouble. You end up in real trouble. Thank you so much, Cheryl Larson, for $49.99. My goodness. Thank you, John Jeffries. Thank you, Jody Smith. And thank you, Selena. Thank you, Adrian, the first donation ever. Judy Wright, $9.99. And now we have Helen B. Helen B. I'm totally blown away by this. I couldn't have predicted this in a million years. Helen B. Where are you from, Helen? 449. I like that. You're creative there. 449. That's really cool. I thank you so much. I'm trying to figure out your emojis. And then Anastasia comes in with $4.99. Thank you so much, Anastasia. I'm running out of room here. It's so wonderful. I appreciate that. And this is just our first week of doing it, Selena says, takes a whole lot to offend me. You have thick skin, Selena. I dated a Selena for one date, and then she dumped me. She just wanted to hear about why I was going through a divorce and she was a actual bridesmaid at my wedding. Good friend of my first wife, a wonderful woman, the mother of my children. We had a friendly divorce, but still very sad. Very, very sad. My fault. The nieces have been trying to piss me off. Chris Caffrey has a song from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra called It Pisses Me Off. $5 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It pisses me off. It's more than that now, right? He wrote that a few years ago. Yeah, we'll be seeing him Friday night downtown for the concerts. Jimmy Sturr in downtown Middletown, New York, Friday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Absolutely free. The city pays it. City pays his fee, which is not cheap. So he'll be there. And then the following week, we will see him. At, first of all, in Port Jervis, New York, right by Matamoros, Pennsylvania, for the Beautiful concert. I think it's 6:45 in the evening. He's closing Saturday night, and 6:45 to 9 p.m. in Port Jervis, New York. And then less than 16 hours later, it's Summerfest in Pine Island, New York. I don't expect Karen to go to both Port Jervis and Pine Island, but she loves going to Pine Island because she sees a lot of people she knows. The Polish lady food is incredible, and you guys are incredible. You guys. So thank you, Anastasia. Jane Green. I don't even know where you're from, Jane Green. Jane Green. $49.99. Thank you so much. Whether it's $2 or $49.99 or $1, I'm excited and very grateful. No amount is too small. Kathleen Wiedenbacher, also known as Kathleen Whataburger, $2. She's one of our loyal people here that has been with us since we started doing the live shows, I think. And I thank you so much, $2, and I appreciate that very, very much. Well, here comes the grand patriarch of the family, who sometimes I need a decoder ring, but I don't need one this time because it's very plain and it's in pink. Richard's favorite color. Richard Lyon, $50. Thank you, my buddy in Palm Springs. I really appreciate that. I know you work hard for the money. See, when I first found out Richard was down in Palm Beach, Florida, now I guess he's moved a little bit further away to West Palm Beach. Am I getting that right, Richard? I thought, oh boy, I just had this image of you retired. You're in $1 million home. You're driving an Audi and a Mercedes and all this. And And I didn't realize that not everybody, that there are people that still work hard down there. And I'm not talking working as, working at Mar-a-Lago or something. Um, I guess Mar-a-Lago is closed right now. They close in the heat of the summer, do they, for a little while? Um, $50. Thank you so much, Richard. I really appreciate that. That is terrific. I'm very, very grateful. Whether it's $2 or $50, I'm very grateful to everybody. I feel like some people are thinking, well, is that all he's going to talk about now? Is this going to be the show every week? No, but I'll always acknowledge people when they do this, and be very grateful. Thank you, Jane Green, $49.99. Thank you, Kathleen, for $2, and thank you, Richard, for 50. I'll try to go back through the whole feed at the end. And Jody's funny. She put another dollar in, and that is $1 closer. I don't really have a goal. Every month I have try kind of a bottom line, and as I told you, February was a terrific month, and that was around the time that my 96-year-old man died, or around February. And I said, wow, Karen, if I could do this every month. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't a lot of money. It was under $1,000. Okay. There are people out there making $30,000 a year. These people that get these enormous amount of hits and what have you. And they're on multiple platforms. I'm told TikTok does. People on TikTok do very well. But for me, that was like, wow. And then it went down, and it went down, and it went down. Helen B is, of course, from Perth, Australia. Yes. You got to understand at my age, I struggle. Like I couldn't think of Kevin Sobel. Sobel or Sobel? The actor who played Hercules is a born-again Christian who has his own company. 4 likes on that. Thank you, Helen B. $2.99. And that is very much appreciated. Yeah, there are things we like to do, maybe a green screen and what have you. I'd love to have a tech guy, that could. I kind of need more space. Now, the room next to me could become the studio and not my bedroom at all, That could happen, but we're using it for storage now. So I don't know. And also, it's too close to the guy downstairs. This has to be the studio. It's far away from him. I haven't heard him come in yet, but I know he'll be coming in soon. Romance on Elvis chat. Romance on Elvis chat. What's that about, Boyd? I just saw that. Thanks, Belinda. Really, Margaret. I will see if it's my credit card. I can try again. Ha ha. This will be the 5th time. Poor Shell. But she does want to be the grand matriarch, as Richard has now become the grand patriarch. You'll be getting your certificate in the mail, Richard. But you know how slow the mail is these days. That's why electronically is so much nicer. Congratulations, Richard, on 34. I had the privilege of 21 blessed years. So Richard's been married for 34 years to Vivian, and you had the privilege of 21 blessed years. And then what happened, Ted? Neo, I make 0 on YouTube. Well, I did too until, about a year ago? I did the Bob Joyce topic 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22. I did it for completely free. I just love the topic. And, I didn't do live shows. And then when I hit 1,000 subscribers finally, early 2022 maybe, or sometime in 2022, they told me I could begin to do live shows. And that's become like my second hit. If Bob Joyce is my first hit, the live shows. Obviously, people enjoy them. There's 105 people watching now, and we've been on for an hour and 48 minutes. So that is just amazing. That is just amazing. Um, Boy, too late. I won't be second choice. Have you been hurt by love, Boyd? Have have you given up? It's usually women that tend to do that, right? They find this terrible guy, and when they finally get away from him, they say, "Well, that's enough. That's enough for me." And they allow this scum of a guy in some cases to ruin it for them for the rest of their lives, and they stay alone. And then the other thing that happens is they say, "Well, men are just not for me," and they go the other direction. That happens a lot too. It does. They feel safer with women. Cindy in South Louisiana, 4.99. My goodness, thank you so much, Cindy. I really appreciate that. Um, I never really thought too much about this until I guess it was. I got to give credit to Susan Safadi, who's I don't think here right now. Said, "Please put in the thanks button. I want to send something for for the possibility that you would go to Hot Springs. I can't promise anything, but it's looking more plausible. That's all I can say. Um, I won't spend it on beer, prostitutes, or cigarettes. I can promise you that." Um, and we live pretty simply, Karen and I. Um, we don't go to expensive restaurants and things like that. We live fairly simply. It is always nice when I can get away from here with Karen and we can have a nice hotel room and be, alone. And it's just a whole different world. It's a whole different world. I've come to accept that I can't move to Florida, and then I've realized I wouldn't want to be living in Florida year round. I'd like to be a snowbird, but I'm perfectly fine with not having a home anywhere else other than here, living here. Um, but being able in the cold months to get away, and the Red Roof Inn is fine with me. Motel 6 is fine for me. I don't have to have one of these fancy dancy 300-400. I won't spend it. You know, I won't spend that. That to me is a waste. You're not even in the hotel room that much. You know, you're not in the hotel room that much. So thank you so much, Cindy. It's a very pretty picture of you there. Thank you very much for doing that. Well, here she is, the one who started all this trouble, Susan Safadi. Welcome, Susan. You told me to put in the thanks button, so I did. I was actually able to do it all by myself last night late. And I didn't see until I put up a pre-recorded video today that there it was. There it was in the Gene Ho promo. Well, it's his picture. We're promoting this show. And then I put up a video, which is doing very well. Please, everybody, watch it if you haven't already. We show a picture of Bob Joyce and another man next to him. Is that David Stanley, the stepbrother of Elvis? Is it? Question mark. Some people say, oh, yes. Some people say, no, I don't think so. Doesn't really look like him that much. One person had a good comment in the Nay column that David Stanley is taller than that he's taller than Pastor Bob. I thought, well, that's something right there. I don't know. It's a question mark. Doesn't look like him to me, though. And if it's not, the guy that Pastor Bob is with is a somebody. Sometimes you can just look at a guy and you can just see that this is a very successful man we're looking at. We're looking at somebody very successful. So watch that new video. Please hit the like button, and can you share it on your Facebook or wherever they'll let you share it? Can't share these 2-hour live shows, but Thank you, Carmen, for stopping by. I appreciate you so much. Check out Carmen's videos right here on YouTube. I appreciate you. Um, and so, yeah, Deb Smith joins us with a bunch of smiley faces. Hello, Jack. Hi, Deb Smith. John Jeffries, everybody is somebody, Jack. Um, what's that song you made me just think of? Everybody's everything. Da 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 da. Is it Chicago? Try to remember the kind of September when I played Dr. Kildare before the Thornbirds. Try to remember when all the women loved me. They did not know that I was gay. I'm singing for Richard Chamberlain. That's what I'm doing. Try to remember was a Richard Chamberlain hit. So don't think I'm making any big announcements here, Belinda. Really, Margaret. Thanks again, Helen B. Um, yeah, my mom would have been devastated to find that out. Richard didn't come out until his autobiography years after I think my mom had passed away, but she always used to watch Dr. Kildare, and she always said that line, "Oh, he could put his slippers under my bed anytime." She said the same thing about Vince Edwards, who played Ben Casey. But um, well, if it comes through, Shell, I think I would see it on my screen. But if I see anything in post, I will certainly message you and let you know. But I don't, I think it comes right out as a notification in the color of your choice. So so far I don't see it. You see how they look. It's highlighted in big square. So I don't know. I don't know. But the real breakthrough for my mom was when she saw Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And she said, he could put his slippers under my bed anytime. She wasn't talking about an old Spencer Tracy. She was talking about Sidney Poitier. And I looked at her. So you got to remember the generation my mother was from, born in, I don't know, 1915, something like that. Um, it wasn't that she was a racist, but she was just thought that, the racists kind of keep to themselves. But Sidney Poitier was able to break through that. He was able to break through that and capture my mother's love. And I thought that was wonderful. And right now, I think Patrick Files is also wonderful. Let me give you a hug. Can I give you a virtual hug? You are the man, Jack. I appreciate that. $49.99. Wow. Thank you, Patrick. So much. So unexpected. We're going to come way towards our goal. And what I wanted it, when I looked at these, the possibility that Karen would be able to go with me. She's not a Christian. I'll just say it that way. She would say she does believe and what have you. But she believes this, and this too, And you can't mix spaghetti sauce with hot fudge. So it would be good for her to be exposed to some of that, Scott McKay, for example. I don't know. I mean, thank God it's an inside building, the convention center, because outside would be overwhelmingly hot. And so I would love to have her with me. And I looked at some of the flights, and they have some in the afternoon because we are not morning people. And I try to get a 7 a.m. flight out of Newark, New Jersey. We can't fly out of Stewart and Newburgh. We could if we were going to, say, St. Pete, Florida or something, but they don't have many flights anymore going out of Stewart Airport. Delta's out of there, and I think it could be Spirit. I don't know what airlines you've never heard of fly out of Stewart. But anyway, it would be great if she could go. I would love for her to go to see Pastor Bob Joyce. She wants to. She wants to. And meet Gene Ho and everyone. That would be great. Gene's going to be a very busy man, though. I don't expect an audience with him. So the person who suggested the thanks button, has now sent in. She's hit that button and has made a donation of $49.99. Thank you so much, Susan Safati. Susan sends me, I don't know, 30 emails a week, but some of them are very good. Some of them are good, but not for me, but boy, she does come up with, she explained that she doesn't really watch TV. It's all internet for her. And she comes up with some very interesting stuff. Some very interesting stuff. It's just that, I only have so much time. And I always have to think, do I have an audience for this? Do I or don't I? But she sends me a lot of Bob Joyce stuff too. So thank you, Susan, very, very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Patrick, $49.99. Well, we're getting there pretty quick. I mean, and this is just the first week we've had this. So I'll try to review everybody at the end, which is going to come up soon. But why would I be in a hurry, right? Deb Smith. Karen is not my wife. She would lose the Social Security that she gets from her first husband, and she deserves to have that. They make you do that. Why would she lose that? She was married to this guy for a number of years. She has 2 children to him. She's the custodian of the son, and she needs that. And of course, in terms of a legal marriage with a paper, that doesn't come from biblical times. I think it's vows before God that you could argue for that need to be made. And so no, she is not. People refer to her as that, but she is not my wife, and she does not sleep in this room. This was her parents' room. We do sometimes share a bed. We do. But it seems like a rare event. But that's why it would be so nice to be able to, it's nice when we do travel. It's a different world. Have I thought about taking a train to Hot Springs? I'd have to run that by Karen. I guess we'd go to Penn Station in New York. Sometimes those fares are pretty high, but I'm going to look into that, Jody. I will. I like trains, but again, that's a lot longer. And Karen has, numerous pain issues, she's had surgery and what have you, not back surgery. These Medicare Advantage plans like Aetna, they always want to deny the MRI, even though the doctor wants it and stuff. I'm not a fan. I have New York City insurance, retirement insurance, and then that's a much better deal. Mayor Adams tried to push us on to the Medicare Advantage plan from Aetna. Jack, I will come get you with my truck. Do we have to Karen and I have to sit in the back of your truck, open cab? Well, that sounds real nice, Richard. We have like 4 of us, you will have to be Fred and Ethel, because your wife is Vivian Vance. We'll have to be Ricky and Lucy, and for goodness sakes, it works because look, Karen is a real redhead. Now she has a little help now, of course. But she got so many compliments. I got to bring this up on my phone. My beautiful lady. She got so many compliments about Karen. You just don't age, from her classmates that she's known for, in some cases, 60 years. Marty Greco, 777. God's perfect number of creation. That's a great number. Thank you so much, Marty. I really appreciate it. I've known a few Grecos here in this neck of the woods, and they were nice people too. Nice Italian people. 777. Wow. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. Let me go to pictures. Okay, maybe I have to go to text. Yeah. Here we are last night at the mayor's restaurant, mayor's family, with my vodka sour, and Karen somewhere has got her glass of wine, but I don't see it. It must be in her other hand. But here we are. The glare is worse at night. I don't know if I can get it better than that. I wish it were. Let me see if I can come in a little closer. Yeah. There she is. Beautiful in 1964, beautiful now with her tattoos. Wearing her Newport. We were in Newport last September. I just look fat there. And at the old Erie before we crashed the class of 74 party. There you go. So thank you. Deb Smith, I'm 123 miles from Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's a hop, skip, and a jump then. I live in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Karen is very pretty. Thank you. She looks half your age, Jack. Thanks a lot, Richard. I mean, Ted Richards, not Richard. I got Richard on the brain. Brenda Noyce, Jack, very beautiful photo of you, too. There are better pictures of me than that one, but, Karen is beautiful. You're a lucky man, Jack. Thank you, Kathleen Whataburger. Richard's coming to pick us up, Karen. Richard and Vivian. I mean, that's like 1,000 miles out of your way, though. That's the only problem there. Are you a good driver, Richard? Well, of course you are. You're a professional driver now that I think about it. Margaret, under the name Belinda, saying, or could I make one with Jack's name? Of course, would you agree to that, Jack? What am I agreeing to here? For me to make a Facebook so we can get together there and share photos. I have a Facebook, but they couldn't care less, my 67 friends. I don't seek out a lot of friends. I just don't have time to spend on Facebook. This is a pretty, and the more serious I'm going to get about it, and I'm not doing the caretaking anymore. Um, Trey Gowdy, you watch him on Sunday nights on Fox. He was a congressman, and he says, "Oh, well, when I got into TV, when you get into TV, I find you do a lot of it. I find you do a lot of it, and this, to do this right." Requires a lot of time, and then I've got to have time just to be with Karen. We watch our Dark Shadows, which as I say, they're having their big remembrance on Friday, Saturday in Burbank. I have to have time for that. I have to have time to do my exercising and all these chores. Do other people experience this? You retire and you think, oh, it's just going to be days when every day I can just do what I want to do. Oh no, every day. The pharmacy's a big part of your life. We don't have a washer dryer anymore. Couldn't afford to really replace it, and I don't want her going down those rickety stairs because I'm not always around, and I wouldn't want her to fall down those stairs. So we go to the laundromat every Wednesday. So you're paying it that way, and supermarket and uh, doctor's appointments, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel busier than I thought I would be, but I'm becoming more disciplined at coming up here and saying, well, what can I do? And I want to have Andy. Andy's not been feeling well either. That's another thing. He should really have some more testing, but he's very stubborn like that. Um, so you know, I just got to try to learn the fundamentals of editing and stuff like that. I would really like to be able to do that. Well, thank you, Darren Williams. Are you new? Have you been here before? I'm not sure. Maybe. Beautiful photo. Thank you very much. Um, Jack is upstate New York. I'm up the I'm up the state without a paddle, Richard. Somebody died in the Delaware today. Here we go. I said that in the show. The last time we were together, people will die in the Delaware, and today it happened, you know. And so it was, I don't know, maybe Wednesday night, Thursday night. We have a big road here is Dawson Avenue in the south end of Middletown. Cops don't usually chase a motorcycle guy, which gives them free license with their loud motorcycles to just run the streets crazy because terrible things can happen when you chase them. Better off if you can find out where they live, coordinate with other police departments, give descriptions and stuff of the bike and what have you, and get them at their house. Because if you chase them, they can kill somebody else and they can kill themselves. So they chased this guy on Dawson Avenue. SUV didn't see him and pulled out right in front of him. God knows how fast he was going. He's dead. He's dead. 19 years old. 19 years old. Lived in New Hampton, New York. That's not the first one I've heard of this year in this general area. There's at least one more, and there'll be more, unfortunately. It's too dangerous to ride a motorcycle. It doesn't matter how many years you've been riding. That punk behind you who has no respect for the road and thinks he is entitled to drive like he's on a racetrack, he'll slam into you and you'll be dead. I've heard of so many people. Wonderful cop in Walden that I knew, semi-new young guy. All the ladies loved him. Pulled out with his motorcycle on his day off, and an 18-year-old killed him right there. This just happens so much. It happens so much. Sammy is here. Richard, he lives downstate. Yeah. No, I don't live up in Western New York, that's for sure. I'm in the Hudson Valley, but I think Richard knows. Um, yeah, so sad, Deb. You're right. It is. Gene Lee is also new. So we have Mr. Williams, Darren. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If any of you found me because you saw the Gene Ho, the George Magazine show with Gene Ho on their website, georgemagazine.com, if you saw me there, let me know. So I know that because he let me promo, Worldwide Ramblings let me promo what we do here. He was very nice about that. It was like 2 12-minute segments, commercials in between. Split screen, all the stuff I need to be doing. And undoubtedly, I'll need some more stuff. And what if the mic goes? What if the control board goes? Oh, to have a tech guy. Oh, to have a tech guy. Jane Justice, I've enjoyed listening tonight. We've enjoyed having you, Jane. Thank you so much. I also would love to go and hear Pastor Bob, but going to have hip replacement. That's right. You said that to me soon. Then maybe I can do more. Billy Joel had both his hips replaced and he's rocking and rolling again, Shell drove a motorcycle. Why does that not surprise me, Shell? Well, you made it through, and I'm glad you're not doing it anymore, right? Right? Don't do it anymore. Remember, these Z generation out there are worse than any of the previous generations, with wonderful exceptions. Those brought up in a godly home, those brought up by parents that taught them respect and taught them discipline and what have you. It's a whole different story. It's not all the Z's. I know that. Yeah. My next door neighbor, says Margaret, under the name Belinda, which grew up with my son. His brother went off the road and wasn't found for 3 days. He was going so fast around the corner and just happened to see his bike. He was going so fast around the corner and just happened to see his bike. Wow. Yeah, every year this happens. It's sad, sad, sad. I also had a horse, says Shell. I see. Well, be careful. You know what happened to Christopher Reeve. I just played it safe. I don't go up in single engine planes. I don't go up in helicopters. They drop like a rock when they go. Um, I don't. I don't do zip lines. I mean, it could end badly for me, and things like that. You see Rush Limbaugh behind me, huh? The greatest talk host that ever graced the radio waves. How we need him now. He predicted a lot of things that could happen, including, them indicting Trump and keeping him wrapped up in legal proceedings. He predicted it all, and it's all coming true. This man could open up a mic and hold an audience of 25 million people for 3 hours if he wanted to and never take a single phone call or have a guest. The best, Rush Limbaugh. I hope you're in the presence of heaven, Rush. You're in the presence of God in heaven. We love you so much. You meant so much to me. You were fascinating. I heard you in the beginning when you were doing your feminazi thing, all those little tricks he had to get people mad at him, but they would watch him or listen to him, I should say. And, he matured and he got closer to God, but his knowledge of politics was extraordinary. The very best, Rush Limbaugh the third. Rush Limbaugh the third. Oh, yes, John Jeffries loved Rush as well. We always see this. Good night, Brenda, but I don't think she ever leaves. Maybe she's going back to the Patty. Weren't you supposed to be at a Patty? Talent on loan for God, with one hand tied behind my back just to make it fair. Yes, he had so many of those sayings. He did. Thank you, Cindy, again. Thank you. Going to run through the list here of people tonight that surprised me so much. I got to go right up to, I know who I got to go up to. I hope I can get there. It stopped on me now. I'm having trouble getting to the beginning of the list. Your kiss is on my list, though. Not you, sir, but possibly you, Jody. I know that Adrian was the first one. I can't believe it's not letting me get to the top of my list. Why would this be? Somebody else would know what to do. It's actually not letting me do it. It's only letting me do half of it. But I have it written down, don't I? Now I got to try to read my own writing. Adrian was the first person to donate. Let me go down to the bottom of the list again here. You just hit the thanks button and use a credit card, I guess. Whether it be $2, $5. Hello, replay crowd. Thank you so much in advance. I'm not going to do amounts, but I'm just going to do names. Adrian was the first person, Adrian Sternov, ever to hit the thanks button. listeners or viewers. Susan Safadi, being one of them, suggested I put it in. Helen B., Nancy DeMarco, Anastasia, Jody Smith, number of times for Jody, Cheryl Larson, John Jeffries, Ted Richards, Jody Smith again, Barbara Kendall, Jody again, Selena, Marty Greco, Jane Green, Kathleen Wiedenbacher, Richard, our grand patriarch, Richard the Lionhearted. Did I say Helen B? Patrick Filas, Susan Safadi, Jody again with $1, it looks like. Thank you, Jody. You're wild. Jody Smith again. And as I say, I don't know if you can do this in the replay. My replay audience is always bigger. If it's becoming obvious that hot springs is becoming much more possible now, and possibly with Karen, I would really like to do that. I did Port St. Lucie without her. I mean, the most economical trip that you could, I always find cheap ways to do things. I did it without her because I had made reservations in this hotel down in Port St. Lucie and they wouldn't give me my money back. And I had already bought Jimmy Sturr tickets for the Polish Club in Port St. Lucie. I said, I'm not going to throw this money away. Karen doesn't like long car trips, though, So I went by myself, and it felt weird, It felt weird. But it was snowing here, and I was in Florida, so I like that part a lot. I've seen it done in the replay on others channels. So Selena says, "Okay, well, thank you, because it's all new to me." And eventually I'll look at what you're talking about too, because I understand what you're saying. But I'm very indebted to YouTube, because they have given me a worldwide voice, and I appreciate them. So, Darren, now the rest of the story. I did some content. I talked about our top 10 videos and what have you. Obviously, we have a midnight ramblings where we talk all about the debate. What's the update since then? Apparently, Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, our ex-presidents, have decided they don't have the cojones, right, Richard? They don't have the cojones. I'm just reaching my belly. They don't have the cojones to go up to Joe Biden and Jill. That's who you got to look out for. Oh, cat scratch fever, A lot of people are saying she's guilty of elderly abuse. The man just is ready to stop. She helped him down. Michael Savage said this. Watch Michael Savage here on YouTube or on X. She helped him down off the stage like a little toddler. And then it was Kayleigh McEnany that said this. She talked to him later on in the spin room or wherever they were. I don't think he was in the spin room. Like she talks to her little children. You did such a good job, Joe. You answered all the questions. Yeah, you answered them badly, and the look on his face of fear, worry, that vacant look. I guess he didn't think he'd be on camera when President Trump was talking. It was just a haunting look that even the hardcore people on MSNBC and CNN, the New York Times, that says the man needs to be replaced. People that I never thought would say this said it's time for Joe Biden to step down. Not to step down from the presidency. We don't want that. Finish your term, but in the convention time, it's time to pick somebody else. Could you please pick someone that wasn't, like Satan? You start talking about Governor Whitmer and the man who's destroyed California. Oh, you can do better than that, right? You can do better than that. You've got Democrats that, they're usually a little older, though. They don't have to be in their 70s or 80s. But pick somebody else. Governor Whitmer. Oh, draconian COVID laws, crime out of control in Michigan. Give me a break. Give me a break. Ugh. So let me get the good book. I don't want Joe Biden to be arrested. I don't want, he can forgive Hunter. He can pardon Hunter. I don't get, just go away. Go away. The power of the pardon is absolute. I have no problem with that at all. We just want you to leave America alone and let President Trump make America great again, at least for a little while. But evil is going to win over until the second coming of Christ. Galatians chapter 3 in the NIV, starting with verse 26. You are all sons of God through faith. Don't miss that part. In Christ Jesus. For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. If you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Chapter 5, Galatians 1, beginning with verse 1. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Mark my words, I, Paul, tell you that you let yourselves be circumcised, Christ will be of no value to you at all. Again, I declare for everyone who lets himself be circumcised that he is obligated to obey the whole law. This is not scripture that I can feel comfortable. I know that every man that's been circumcised now is thinking, "What? Whoa, have I missed it?" It's not it, but I can't. Not being a proper teacher, I just share from my heart. And I'm doing this cold, obviously. You who are trying to be justified by law have been alienated from Christ. The whole law demonstrated that people just could not follow it. So Jesus Christ had to become the sacrificial lamb. Verse 16, so I say, live by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the sinful nature. Galatians chapter 5, which is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit, what is contrary to the sinful nature? They are in conflict with each other, so that you do not do what you want, but if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. The acts of the sinful nature are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and alike. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like that will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the sinful nature with its passions and desires. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. There you go. And I just feel led to thank everybody here for joining us for Worldwide Ramblings. Thank you for those that made the thanks button, the premiere, such a success. I appreciate it very, very much. I pray that each person that tuned in tonight will feel the love of God in their heart. If they haven't opened up their heart to the Lord Jesus Christ, that they will. And for those of us who have been Christians for a while, Lord, let us die a death to self. to present our bodies as a living sacrifice, to do better tomorrow than we did today, one step at a time. And we can only do it through the power of the Holy Spirit. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So thanks, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. We will be back again. And where's Jill? There's Jill. Thank you so much, Jill. I know it's not Jill Biden. I feel bad if it was now. You weren't a babysitter for Senator Biden, were you? I don't think you're that Jill. No. He married the babysitter. He did. Thank you for your hard work and bringing it to us. Your pal in Tulsa. See you in Hot Springs. It's beginning to look very good. Hopefully my health will be okay and what have you. Pray for that. I have to remember God did not give me a spirit of fear, not a spirit of fear, but a spirit of faithfulness, righteousness. He equips me every day if I'm available to him. So that is looking good right now. Thank you for that $49.99 donation. What a blessing. What a blessing. And I thanked everybody else. I think I got the whole list here. And for those in the replay crowd, you'll hear from me too, or any of our pre-recorded videos, But I'm not going to hit you over the head with this, I promise. I'm not going to do that. I'm just obviously very blessed, and I thank you so much. You've been listening to Worldwide Ramblings. Check out our other videos here. The new video, you tell me if you think that is Elvis's stepbrother or not in the comments section there. And as I say, he's somebody. You can just look at it. You can see the success in this man's countenance. I think you can. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everybody. And Jack Willard is my name since 1977. Actually, I was Jack Allen when I first started my middle name. I became Jack Willard by 1981. 1981. Big God bless you. Take care.